Final reflections for our EN campus, our church. You wanna leave with them? Hello po, Sarah. Welcome sa ating leadership flow and sobrang saya ng aming flowing time ni Pastor Dennis. Again, I'm reminded of Habakkuk 2:2-3. It says there, the Lord answered, write the vision, make it plain on tablets. And so we are not writing really on tablets, but we're writing on YouTube so that the leaders could actually flow. And few words, how excited are we sa ating mga pag-uusapan niyan?
Actually, Pastor Loyd, sobrang excited ako eh. Because, of course, I've watched yung mga previous videos natin. And personally, ako mismo na ministeran. And I've learned a lot. And I'm excited to be able to be used by God. And syempre, makausap ko din po kayo at makapag-impart sa ating mga leaders. Syempre, this afternoon.
Yeah. And this is our conversations about kay Joseph the Dreamer, double dreams, 3 second in charge, and 3 robes. And I think first thing na magandang we can reflect on is when the brothers, even the father, heard of the vision of Joseph in his life. Ito yung response ng mga tao, no? Sabi sa verse 10, Genesis 37. But when he told it to his father, to his brothers, his father rebuked him and said to him, what is this dream that you have dreamed? Shall I and your mother and your brothers indeed come to bow ourselves to the ground before you? And I think this is the first statement that we can reflect on. Having a dream from God can make a Christian's life very difficult to understand so that our character and leadership will be built up. And napaka-simple lang ng buhay niya, kaya lang nakita niya yung vision. And kind of like the EN campus leaders, no? They're young leaders, but it seems like parang yabang naman itong
Yes, Pastor Loyd. Actually, ako personally, nung binabasa ko yan, medyo tinamaan din talaga ako eh. Kasi there are tendencies sometimes na, yes, we receive a dream from God, di ba? Eh, minsan personal yung dreams and related din syempre sa ibang tao. But we have a tendency talaga na we make ourselves look big by making other people look small.
Yeah.
Character po talaga, Pastor Loyd eh.
Yeah, so I think well, for us na modern, yung current leaders, no, sana rin, we get beyond the pride of the youth and just see na, may calling talaga yan. Mukha lang mayabang magsalita, pero may calling na. We just need to build the character. And it's so big, no? Kaya nga, nothing complicates more than a dream from God. 1 Corinthians 10:13 says, God will not give you more than you can bear. I think it's a wrong application na laging maliliit lang yung bibigay niya sa'yo. But in fact, He will always give you more so that you would always depend on Him. So it's just, pakita ko lang sa'yo yung mga double dreams dito. No? Yung when I say 3 double dreams, nangyari siya sa umpisa, nangyari rin siya sa after a while. And that is to ensure na ito talaga yung totoong nangyari. Yeah. So, ito yung una, yung sheep, na-mention na natin kanina, nag-bow down sila, and even 7 good cows, 7 years. Tapos inulit lang uli yung dalawa na yan, and here's the point. The point is, then you dream another dream, sun, moon, and stars are gonna bow. Tapos ito po yung, this is the point, no? Kaya siya double dreams. Verse 32 says, and the doubling of Pharaoh's dream means that the king, and the thing is fixed by God, and God will shortly bring it about. So, kita mo kahit bata si Joseph, siya magaling mag-share, parang mayabang, pero totoo naman eh.
Yes.
Meron talagang future sa EN campus.
Yes, Pastor Loyd.
And he was, now, dahil nakulong siya, alam natin yon, he now is helping other people in their dreams. You remember yung sa baker, huwag mo kalimutan na, pero he was promoting himself, but hindi, kailangan siyang hindi mangyari yung dream. So how can you relate to that, helping the next generation with their dreams?
Actually, Pastor Loyd, I realized kasi si Joseph din po mismo, he removed himself from the center. Yun po siguro talaga yung isa sa mga lesson that I've learned from the story of Joseph. And when it comes to helping the next generation, we have to remember that it's always about God. Diba? And it is God who gave them the dream. It is not me, the older generation. Kumbaga OG na kasi tayo, Pastor Loyd, talaga, to be honest eh. Diba?
Tayo naman yun.
But we have to really remember that the dream is not from us. Yes, we have dreams for the next generation. But most importantly, is that dream aligned to the dream of God for them?
Yeah.
Diba? So, yun po yung isa sa mga bagay that I saw in the life of Joseph. Na yung dream ay hindi siya yung nasa center.
Yeah, which brings us to the 3-second in charge. Now, which means, yes, talagang magiging leader talaga siya. Pero, there was a moment na talagang he's just helping others. He's a dreamer. But he's using his dreams for the dreams of others.
Yes.
Not really for his dream. So, merong moment na ganon that God is building us to be of help to others. So, what do we mean by this 3-second in charge? So, hindi siya lagi yung top leader.
Yeah.
No? So, I'll give you an example. No? Sa verse 9, no one is greater in this house than I am. My master has withheld nothing from you except you. So, sa Potiphar's house, so siya ay second in command. Pero alam natin nangyari, no? Nagkaroon ng maling fake news. Maling fake news.
Maling fake news.
Ay, kaya nakulong siya. Nung nasa prison naman siya, verse 23 says, paid no attention to anything that was in Joseph's charge because so even in the prison, he was still in second in command. Pero even more powerful nung sa latter part of the life niya, verse 44, moreover, the Pharaoh said to Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without your consent. So, si Pharaoh yung leader, pero sabi niya, pagka ayaw mo, hindi ko gagawin. Parang napaka-powerful na second in command. So, I think, here's a point, no? We should not wait to be in position for us to lead.
I agree.
So, what about, lalo na yung sa IN campus, no, we promote non-positional leadership. Kasi nga, wala naman talaga silang position.
Yes, opo. Actually, opo, Pastor Loyd. For me, well, kaya nga din po may internship eh. Yun po yun eh. Kasi of course, may potential naman po talaga ang next generation. And to be honest, they are 10 times better than us naman talaga, Pastor Loyd. That's the reality. But I think, important that they see first na we believe in them.
Yeah.
Yun po talaga yon. Na wag natin lang, sometimes kasi may tendency po, ako na lang, for example, di ba, na piliin kung sino lang yung mukhang magaling, kung sino lang yung mukhang may influence. But at the same time, we have to believe first si God talaga na hindi, may plano siya sa bata na yan eh. And at the same time, help them remember and realize that sila din mismo, they don't have to have a position for them to be able to lead. Kasi yung position naman, Pastor Loyd, ewan ko parang if you agree, overrated na yun.
Temporary lang naman.
Temporary lang din naman po yun.
I agree, Coach Sarah, yung the whole world is your platform. I remember, nobody wanted to coordinate for prayer for the whole of Central Luzon. And yeah, I just said happy to serve. Pero others went for yung parang mas mga sikat na ministry, like ganyan. And then, I realized even nakarating ako ng Orlando World Conference, we did the prophetic presbytery, we did prayers. So, I just realized na talaga, in your small ways, just do it. No? Be faithful with it, be the best at what you do. Don't look for the position. Which brings us to the robes of leadership. Ngayon yung last 3 robes. Ano ba yung mga robes na binigay? Ito yung coat of many colors, which is really the father saying, you're gonna be the leader of your brothers. Pero ano nangyari sa robe na yan? Then they took Joseph's robe and slaughtered a goat and dipped their robe in the blood. So he was called to lead his brothers, pero people are, they're just doing everything to remove his calling. And so I think we need to be just secured in our calling. Kailangan natin mag-reflect how can we secure ourselves na tinawag tayo ni Lord to honor God and make disciples, change the campus, change the world.
Actually, Pastor Loyd, pag-iisipin ko nga din talaga, there are really people who will take away your calling from you. There are people who will question the calling that God has for you. But ako personally, Pastor Loyd, I always go back to God and tell Him na, Lord, it is you who called me.
Yeah.
And siguro, Pastor Loyd, meron lang akong isang principle lang na if, Lord, you are using me to be a blessing in this field, let not me be glorified, but you. Pag ako na yung na-highlight, tanggalin mo na lang ako dito. Di ba? Pero kung ikaw yung na-highlight, kung ikaw yung nakikilala ng mga tao, help me hold on to that calling. Kasi grace lang po talaga, Pastor Loyd. Kasi kung ako lang personally, Lord, it's hard. Di ba? It's so hard. But thank you kasi it's all by your grace.
Yeah. So, hindi lang yung people taking away your calling. People seducing you away from your calling. Another robe, di ba? The robe of the coat of many colors. Even, ito, yung, di ba, nakuha niyo yung garment, yung coat. So I think, the world is seducing us away from our calling. Stay away
Stay
from them.
away.
Siyempre, maraming seduction. Ako, kung ginawa mo to, sana ganito ka na, ganyan ka na. Ba't kasi ganyan ang ginawa mo? Let us not be seduced by the world. Ikaw, how do you not look
Integrity
at the world?
na, Pastor Loyd. Integrity talaga, Pastor Loyd, ito kasi may mga tendency naman talaga na, well, for example, offers, di ba? O sa worldly offers, ganyan. Iniisip ko po kasi, Pastor Loyd, how do people seduce me personally? To away from my calling 'di ba? So sa context ko, personally, Pastor Loyd, may mga ganun talaga. Yung integrity talaga yung tinitira nila sa akin 'di ba? Yung may mga offer na ganito, may offer na ganyan, even the enemy, he will remind me, ito yung past mistake mo to, But you know what? I realized that if I keep my integrity, Pastor Loyd, well, syempre, rooted kay God, in the end, God will work it out.
Yeah. Siya pa rin ang mag-glorify.
Siya pa din naman po Opo, siya pa din naman ang mag-glorify.
He who began a good work in you
will bring it to completion.
Siyempre, final robe. Ito na talaga yung na-fulfill na yung mga dreams si Joseph. Then Pharaoh took his signet ring from his hand, put in Joseph's hand, clothed him in garments of fine linen, and put a gold chain about his neck. So, nangyari na. After many decades, the complicated and hard to understand dreams of God has come to pass. And now he is ready. And I think about, ano kaya nangyari sa character niya?
Yes.
Na naging ready na siya sa dreams ni God. And he said, please brothers, bandang dulo na to, no? Genesis 15, intended to harm me, but God didn't. So, sobrang nagre-repent ng mga brothers niya. Nag-bow down na sila. Pero ang sabi niya, hindi. Si Lord yun. Tapos ito pa siya. So do not fear, I will provide for you and your little ones. He was talking to his brothers. Nangyari na yung, nag-bow down sa kanya. Tapos he comforted them and spoke kindly to them.
Yes.
Yan yung hindi nangyari. Nung una niyang na-receive yung dream, he was now kind. And I think God is just softening our hearts to
be kind.
To receive the dreams. How has God softened our hearts sa calling niya sa atin?
For me po, it comes sometimes with suffering, Pastor Loyd. Minsan kasama po talaga yung suffering, kasama talaga yung challenges. If we look at the story of Joseph, may kasalanan ba siya? Makamayabang siya. Mayabang siya. Oo. So, nagsunod-sunod Actually, nagsimula nga po sa dream nga, di ba? Pero binoise out niya lang naman But the thing is, sometimes, yun nga, mali kasi yung way of casting the vision to people He became arrogant. But, nagkaroon ng challenges, nagkaroon ng suffering, but in the midst of those suffering, God never leave His side naman Hindi naman siya iniwan ng Panginoon. At pinakita ni Lord sa kanya na, yun nga, whatever the enemy meant for evil, di ba? I meant it for good.
So once again, having a dream from God can make a Christian's life. You're a leader. It makes our lives very difficult to understand. So that our character and leadership will be built up. Final reflections for our EN campus, our church. You wanna leave with them?
Allow God to mold your character. And serve people. Just like Joseph, Pastor Loyd, pag-iisipin ko, he could have turned his back away from the people na nag-cause sa kanya ng sufferings nakilala niya yung mga kapatid niya, Pastor Loyd, di ba? Yung cupbearer, di ba? Kinalimutan mo ako. Diba, nung nakalaya siya, tapos nagkaroon siya ng power, nagkaroon siya ng position, he could have turned his back away from these people. But still, diba, because God molded his character, decades po yun, mahabang proseso, and he allowed God, then he became kind, diba? So, naging kind siya, and he just serve and serve and serve people. He saw behind the pain, Pastor Loyd.
Wow. So finally, I just want to say the purpose of God's, I agree, God's dream is to make you kind and to make you a servant leader.
Yes.
And that is how we flow in our Victory Baliwag leadership flow. God bless you.
God bless po.